Hello, World Civilization 106 class, and welcome to the late start. Um, if you are just getting to this and you did not watch my intro video, I'd like you to stop this, watch that first, and then come back to this, okay? Excuse me. Um, and so I covered a lot of ground in the intro on getting a feel for this class. What I want to make clear is while I talked about it being um, more like a cram course, this week I'm starting you off easy like it would be for a normal semester where we're just going to be covering one set of information. And then the next, uh, few, then we move forward and you are doing more than one chapter. You're doing a lot more work, and that is because again it's a late start and put into sort of a cram course setting, so you really need to be setting yourself up to be prepared for this. So get a feel for this class by delving into this week, looking at the fact that we have discussions, video notes, and papers to be written. And again, I want to remind you that the topic this week, we happen to start with evolution, and you don't have to believe it, so I made that comment in the first video. This is basically showing you how I'm teaching you what secular historians, where they start with trying to figure out the beginning of humanity. And I remind you, and I think I mentioned this in some of my lectures, but I'll say it again. The Torah, the in the Bible, the Christians and Jews use Genesis. That's actually the name in English coming from the Greek word. The Hebrew word that it's actually the book is called, and the word that starts there is Bereshit, in the beginning. So it's a great way to start a book, right? Let's talk about the universe. What happened in the beginning? Bara et Elohim. God creates. Okay, and so then there's a discussion of life and Adam and Eve and so forth. Now, that's not how every civilization has viewed the creation of the world, of the universe, of humanity. And so, the question I have to ask some of you who are uncomfortable with the topic of evolution is, where would we start then if this isn't if we're just teaching world civilizations and the origins of humanity? Well, archaeologists and scientists have tried to look at these questions. And, just as every world religion doesn't have the same story for how it all started, we also have a scientific viewpoint about it that doesn't necessarily correlate with all of those viewpoints as well. And so my point is not to tell you what to, how you should handle this topic. I'm just trying to show you this is what in this class we're learning about what people in the world believe and think, not what we are supposed to believe and think. That's the point I want to make clear. And so we start there, and we're going to get into, and some of you are really going to enjoy this part, because you're going to, it's not, whether you're a person of faith or not, you're going to see there's some very interesting things that we look in historic artifacts and what archaeology has to show. Excuse me. And then we're going to be moving into Egypt, ancient Israel, Mesopotamia, and just so many other interesting topics that are really going to just help really just broaden your perspective. And you're going to get hit with a lot of information in this class, like I talk about in the first intro video. It's going to feel overwhelming. What I just always remind you is that you just need to do the work, not worry about memorizing anything. So this is the secret to my class. Secret to success is keeping up with the work. It doesn't matter if you're a good grader or not. You don't have to worry about pop quizzes. But you do need to follow my instructions. This part is the most important thing. So listen, I'm giving you an example with my video about how a Sunday paper should look. I say that there needs to be dates that's for the time periods covered in the subject matter, not telling me the date that you sent the paper. A history paper without dates is not a history paper. And dates meaning, give me what time period are we talking about? Give me something specific, and or even saying like 18th century. But you got to have something about time in there. And works cited has to be within the paper, okay? And it has to be strictly from all the information that we've covered in class. And you're going to see that there's an easy way to do this. What I recommend is that you always look at the Sunday topic first. Then when you listen to the videos, you can write down notes that are dealing with the topic of the Sunday paper, and you can convert your notes into the paper for Sunday. So that's just something I recommend. It's not required to do it that way. Please also keep in mind, you need to send everything typed, no handwritten picture work. Okay, it all has to be sent in typed. And you have to do notes on all the videos. Yes, all of the videos to get the full points. And the discussions, I just want you to be on topic and contribute, demonstrate that you actually went over the material. That's going to be it. Now, I don't use the calendar. I have every week posted a link at the top of your module for the weekly work objectives. And so sometimes all work will be done on Sundays, or you'll have some work done on Thursdays and Sundays, but it's never going to vary from that. And it's going to be very predictable after a while. But you need to look at that, not the calendar, okay? I have my own reasons for that. Some of you prefer it the other way, but that's how we do it. So just make sure you keep an eye on it that way, okay? And if there's ever any mistake on my part, I will give you'll get the benefit of the doubt, and I'll adapt to it. But I try to be very clear and concise in my instructions and really create a pathway for your success. I really think that you all are going to have a good time and enjoy this class if you can get in a mind frame to work, and know that you're going to be done a little bit sooner than the other classes, and you're starting later than the other classes. So, with all the distractions going on in the world right now, which I understand, please do your best to focus this. Keep in mind, I work 2 jobs. I live here in Portland, Oregon, okay? And I went to MJC myself. I was born and raised in Modesto, and I taught face-to-face until several years ago. And so now I just teach online. And so if you want to get a hold of me, you can text me for a quick question. If it's after 10 a.m., and so if I'm at work on my lunch, there's a quick question, I can respond back to that. But so keep in mind, tomorrow, for example, I'm going to be very slow to get to respond to anything because I have to work at my other job, and it's much more physical. I work at a consignment shop for my other job. Very different world that I'm in doing that, okay? So I used to tackle a lot with, like, I think I mentioned in my previous video that I was a single dad for a good chunk of my adult life. And, when I was teaching online for a long time, now my daughter's 22, and I'm independent living now. But so I'm tackling a lot of things that many of you also are, and just keep in mind that I will get a hold of you as soon as possible. You can write me on Canvas any hour, because it's not going to wake me up. It's not going to be weird. If you have a weird work schedule, if you're writing me on Canvas at 3 a.m., because that's the best time for you to write a question, if I happen to be up, I'll answer it. But if not, I'll answer, I'll get to it. But like I said, it's not a weird thing, because Canvas is just like writing an email. You send it out there, and then I'll get to it. Texting, not at 3 a.m. So, anyhow, I think that's it. I'm sorry this took a little bit longer than I was going to do. I hope you all are going to feel comfortable, and like I said, I have your backs to thrive, so I'm going to help you all in every way that I can. Thursday and Friday, I'll be working from home, and so for those 2 days, if you're really struggling and you're confused, then that's a good day to get a hold of me also. Okay, so all right, we'll be in touch, and here we go, folks. Get ready to work.